Welcome back to episode 8,455 of the Young Professionals podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We really
looking
appreciate
great,
it.
Danny.
Yeah, I know. For this age, it's really, we're now 800 years old.
Yep.
Pretty good. No, thank you guys for tuning back in. We appreciate it. We're going to kind of pick up where we left off last and talk about kind of, the hardships of being a young professional in today's environment and how to kind of get through it. It's not that tough if you think about it in the long, grand scheme of things.
And who are you?
Huh?
And who are you?
Oh, my name's Daniel Katzman, financial advisor down in Newport Beach. Ian White, financial advisor with Edward Jones here in Mission Viejo. Bryn Parmenter, the best insurance agent ever with Parmenter Insurance. All of our information will be linked below. Please go ahead and feel free to check us out if you need any of our services. But yeah, today we're going to be picking up kind of where we left off last and talking about being a young professional today and the hardships that come with it. Like I was saying, it's not that hard if we think about it. 100 years ago, it must have been way harder to be a young professional starting your own farm. Maybe not, I guess.
Depends.
Yeah, it depends.
I think the biggest change would be if you want to do something other than your dad.
Yeah.
Because that's how it used to work, right? You did what your dad did, and all the problems were like, I want to go do this instead. Well, who's going to teach you how to do that?
Yeah, you gotta go figure it out. There ain't no YouTube, so at least we got internet. We have a lot more resources now, which is cool. But there's still a lot of hardships, and we don't need I'm not meaning to undermine those, and I kind of want to talk about those today. But first, can we talk about some cool upcoming events? I know one that I'm looking forward to very much so. This awesome hike that we have scheduled for April 5th. We're gonna all be meeting in Aliso Viejo.
Location undetermined.
Aliso Viejo or Trico Hills. We're still debating.
We'll get it up on Meetup.
A good one.
Yeah, please. Yeah, or a good one. We'll be checking out Meetup and having a blast and come out. This is not a subscription thing. We are not liable. Insurance agent, say that works.
It is a group of young professionals in the area. Getting outdoors as it is work can be stressful, so getting out, getting some fresh air. Just talking, maybe talk work, but also not otherwise. But come by if you want to.
Don't sue us.
Yeah, if you're trying to get somewhere in life, you're just starting out, you're in a few years, it can be stressful. And there have been a lot of studies that have shown exercise is twice as effective as antidepressants without the side effects. So we're making our own medicine.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, that is kind of
in our opinion.
In your opinion, I mean, I'll be blatant. I've tried both. Exercise is better, in my humble opinion.
Isn't March or April Mental Health Awareness Month?
I don't know.
Well, we're celebrating
it's always
this
mental
month
health
and
awareness
on
month.
this podcast. Yeah, absolutely. So that's one event that I'm looking forward to. Are there any other cool chamber events that are coming up, Ian?
Yeah, so on April 3rd, we've got another ribbon cutting, KCI Investigations.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
This is a good person to know. She's a private investigator, mainly focuses on businesses. So if you're a business and an employee...
for workers' comp claims and stuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
You think an employee's trying to cheat you out of some workman's comp, get her on the case.
Yeah, I mean, she's really good at going in and doing all the interviews.
She's worked as an adjuster in the past. She kind of understands the ins and outs and has done quite a bit of private investigating. So
Right. So again, that's April 3rd. And then the next week, in the 10th, this is a really good one for new members of the chamber. It's new member orientation.
Yeah.
We're doing a few of these a year, and basically everybody who's new to the chamber can come, get some information about how they can benefit from the chamber and what they can do in it. So that's going to be April 13th.
and there's usually food
April
and
10th.
drinks. So
Yeah.
stop by, meet some of the other new members.
I've heard Bryn Moore's going to bring pizza and lots of drinks.
There should be pizza and drinks there, and I'll be there. I'll be bringing none of it.
Heck yeah. As far as the city events go, we have Coloring for Adults April 9th. That'll be a blast. It's actually pretty fun. I've attended before.
You able to color in between the lines?
I can do pretty good. I'm not the best. I didn't finish. I'm not gonna lie, but I kept it in my on my dashboard for a couple months.
Yeah. Put it on the desk, on
Yeah.
the fridge.
And then lots of fun stuff. We got Subterranean Soundscapes Classic April 16th. Virtual Thursday night Thrillers Book Club April 17th. Earth Day Arbor Day celebration April 26th. That'll be fun. Check it all out on MV Life for all your city fun events and get involved in your community. But yeah, let's kind of dive into it, pick up where we left off. You know, the struggles of being a young professional today, kind of dealing with anxiety. What are you guys doing? Like, is it screaming into the void? Or are you yelling at
Exercise.
people? Yelling at people at traffic stops. What are you guys? What are you guys up to?
Try to avoid the last one, but yeah, a lot of mine is just weightlifting. A lot of the time too.
Yeah.
Kinda, I like to switch it up, not kind of do the same things over and over. But
I'm not saying.
yeah, basically weightlifting. Big one of my favorites lately. I mean, for the past year or so is golfing. Just on the weekends, getting outside with some friends. Golf can be rage-inducing at times, but just kind of stepping back, like it's better than being in the office or doing something like that.
Yeah.
And just get some fresh air, be with some good people, play some music. Don't throw a club and have a good time.
Yeah, if golf wasn't so freaking hard, it'd be so awesome. Like, I love being on the course. It's such like a, you know, it's obviously well manicured. It's a beautiful like area, and it's awesome to be with your buddies out there. But God, I can't hit it, dude. I can hit the ball on the other fairway.
Yeah, that's right.
But I can't do it. What do you do, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, there's three things. Working out is by far the best in terms of results, because it actually has a physiological effect on you, and you can't not accomplish the goal. I mean, I guess you could quit, but you say, I'm gonna go run for half an hour, and you just do it. It's easy. It's easy in the sense that your brain can say, I don't want to do this, it hurts, but your body just keeps moving, and then you're
I
done.
tried to tell myself I could do 5 pull-ups today, and I got to that 4th one. The second time, very hard. Didn't get there.
See, but also a lot of that with working out is doing something hard and committing your mind to it. Maybe you can't run for 30 minutes, you run for 20 minutes and walk the last 10. You just keep trying, but then the next day maybe you run for 21 minutes.
Right,
Yeah.
something that's within the realm of your possibility, knowing that that's going to get better and better over time. Hobbies, Bryn mentioned golf. I've got a few different hobbies that I go between. There's a caveat there though. Some hobbies, you're just you don't have to be good, you just do it, it's fun. Like, going out to the beach and hanging out, that could be your hobby.
Coloring for
that's
adults.
Totally fine. Yeah, coloring, you can't win or lose that. I really like those types of activities for when you're just having a bad day and going out and playing golf and losing. It's going to piss you off.
Yes.
Like, I really like hobbies that you need to get good at and practice and you can be bad at, because I feel like progressing in something builds mental fortitude so that you can do that at work. But I can't do that all the time. If I had a bad day, I need to go do something I know I'm good at and I'm not going to be bad at ever. So, a lot of sports, being good means you win 53% of the time. That's not what I need on certain days.
I wholeheartedly agree. I realize myself personally, don't go to the golf range at lunch. You might think you want to go and kind of relax, and sometimes you don't know how to swing anymore. And you don't come back to the office relaxed. So kind of understanding that as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, lunchtime is for lifting weights for me personally. It's something that I've done for years and years, and it's just, you think about the numbers is what I like so much. You got some heavy weight in your hands, and sometimes you don't even get the amount of reps you want, but it's just being there and like, be here
Serving
now.
yourself.
Yeah, and just, I've always found too, it's if you can get in there and get in the gym, I don't do it regularly, but before work, if you've just gone in and squatted, I don't care how much weight, you could do body weight squats. That's a lot harder than picking up the phone and cold calling someone, because those squats hurt. It's not fun, and getting in and doing it, I mean, you get yelled at and it hurts in your ear a little bit. I mean, cold calling isn't fun, but doing something hard physically usually helps me out, being like, hey, I can get through typing on my keyboard a little bit today. I can think about thinking up a solution to this because I just put a bunch of weight on my back and squatted, or I got in there and did the hard stuff.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why I usually have some big goal at the end of training. Because working out in general is super helpful, but also I need more motivation than that. So I'm working out so that I can go backpacking, or so that I can run the marathon. And then when I'm calling somebody, back when I did that, it's like, well, I just ran a marathon, and I ran the whole time. Like, I can call this person and have them tell me no.
So I think it's mental. It helps with the imposter syndrome, I think, that all of us get sometimes. I mean, it's pretty hard to be doing something where you're thinking up solutions and you maybe didn't realize something or something's changed and know it. And it's hard to be like, man, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
But I found I always seem to be a bit more confident after working out an exercise. I'm like, man, I got through that. Yeah, I didn't get this right maybe the first time, or there's something I didn't quite understand, but you can learn. And that's what so many careers is, learning and getting better. If you gave up the first time you made a mistake something, you wouldn't be here. And so I think
that's like called insanity. That's why I've gone this far.
But the thing is, if you're doing the same thing with the same result, it's insanity. But you're learning, you're getting better. So you probably haven't had the same result as your first cold call on your 100th or your 1000th.
Yeah,
they're similar sometimes.
They're similar sometimes, but
if you be dude, cold call of the week last week. Holy smokes. FUB, I would never do any business with anybody on the phone ever. What the? Thank you, sir, so much for your time. And it's just he hung up on me halfway through that. It's like, okay.
So at least you've learned that, a bit more resilience in it. But if that was the first cold call you've ever made, you may have been sat there like, I'm done.
No.
I quit.
Yeah.
But
I think people need to differentiate between, because I like that quote, doing the same thing over and over again is insanity.
Mm-hmm.
But doing cold calling has a certain success rate. Mm-hmm. As an example, let's say it's 5%. So I'm going to make 100 calls, 95 of them are going to be no's, but 5 are yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm comfortable with that success rate, it's not insanity to take those 95 no's, because I got what I wanted.
But if you called the same 100 people every single day,
exactly.
then and expecting a different result there, then you start having issues. But
yeah.
True.
Or if there's a 0% success rate or a 0.01, it's not worth it.
No.
Find something else.
Sure. Find a better lead source.
Better lead source, better way of approaching things, better talk track or dialogue or what you want to bring up.
Yeah, better script maybe.
Say, hey, I'm bringing up concessionaires or bonds right now. People aren't interested in that.
Look at you saying words.
I know some things that you guys do because Ian helps me out with those things.
So I want to take a step back though, because we talked about how we get through the anxiety, but now I'm going to talk about how it felt, because that sucked.
I feel my palms right now. That's how it feels.
In the beginning of any career, you don't know as much as you're gonna know, and if you're trying to build something, generally speaking, the more lucrative the future is, the harder it's going to be to build it now.
Larger barrier to entry, yeah.
Right. And so I was out, 21 years old, with braces. Imagine this face, but
just a little cuter.
13 years younger, getting carded at the movie theater because they thought I was 15, and I'm knocking on people's doors at their house and saying, hey, I'm not asking for business at that point, but I'm certainly talking about money. And then eventually, I'm trying to get business. That sucked. And it wasn't a week, it wasn't a month, it was a year, every single day, almost 8 hours a day, of going out and knocking on people's doors, and then going into the office. And the amount of stress, I blocked it all out by now, but just thinking back on it and get glimpses of it, it was the worst time in my adult life. Not in terms of I got into a car accident and beat up or whatever, but something I chose to do and still want to do it even though it sucks. It was the worst.
Yeah, you have to go to bed knowing what you're doing you don't want to do the next day.
And you got to do it again tomorrow and the next day. And then when you succeed, somebody realizes that I know what I'm talking about. They want to be my client. It doesn't even make me feel good, because I need a lot more of them.
I need 800 more.
Right, to be successful.
Nice clients, thank you so much. I really appreciate having you, but I just need 8 million more of you, so many more of you. It's like, what in the world?
And some people feel bad that they don't feel good about the wins. It takes years sometimes to start feeling good about what you're doing, because it takes a lot of it worked to finally start to feel like you know what you're doing, that you have a future, you have stability.
Do you have to go through that?
Not
Is
every
that a mandatory thing?
Not every career, but if you want to make a lot of money, like more than $400,000 a year, probably yes.
To
Yes.
not celebrate this, no. But like the thing,
Oh.
so not knowing when to celebrate the wins.
I still barely celebrate. I feel good in general, but I'm not like going out and celebrating specifically.
Little W's. You're not doing that.
Not really.
Yeah. And
Like I'm at the point now
you're a
where
dad. There's a lot
I'm
of things, right?
like going backpacking. Like, oh, I need new gear, and I don't feel bad about buying it now because I have the money. But
yeah, but say you
there's nothing specific.
when you
that
hit
I
your
do.
monthly numbers a month ahead of time, are
Nope.
you not like,
No,
Well,
nothing. Other people are excited for me. Like, Ian, that's awesome. Like,
You don't even
it's
feel
just
it.
working.
Do you feel like you have to not, like, I don't know, I've seen a lot of successful people get there, and on their way they just don't feel it. They're
Yeah.
like these numb, miserable, not
I
you.
know.
Not
I
you're
do
miserable,
feel like
they
that
just-
happens.
Yeah,
That I don't think that's what I do.
yeah. I'm not saying it's you,
Yeah,
but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Right, because I'm genuinely happy most of the time.
Yeah,
There's just I'm not doing things specifically, but that is a huge risk. Is you get into that mindset in those first few years, and then you don't stop, and that stress, like you're still stressed 10 years in, you're killing it.
yeah,
And there's like at that point, there's no way you could fail unless you do something illegal, but your brain can't turn it off. And now you have a 3-year-old at home that you barely know.
yeah.
It's like you need to
and
go
a drinking
home.
problem.
Yeah.
there's no, it doesn't end well, right?
Right.
You just see it end. It train wrecks constantly.
Right,
And-
so you have to take time.
How'd you do it?
Well, I was
Why are you
always.
happy, Ian? Tell us.
The hardest thing is that it's not advice I can give because it's how my brain works. I've always known what my actions will do, like what the consequences are. And so I know if I work too hard, I'm going to get burnt out and quit. And so I specifically...
Was that something you just were born with? You know? Did you see your parents go
no,
through
it's
it?
called trauma.
Yeah, trauma. So you saw
Childhood
something go
trauma.
through,
Yeah, I didn't... Yeah. Like, there were lots of great moments when I was a kid, but there were also... I wouldn't want
Your
my
parents'
kids
life.
to have to go through that. So I learned to tamper down my emotions.
Yeah.
But in general, I think people need someone else in their life that they trust to say, hey, we need to go out for a dinner, go out for a walk, and just like reassess. Like, where are we right now? Do you need to be working those long hours? You know, how are things going? Like, they're going pretty good. Like, do you want to come home a little bit earlier?
Mhm.
If you do, we could do that. And, you know, I have client conversations like that, and they just hadn't considered it. They hadn't. And once we have the conversation, they're like, well, yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't even
But
know
you
that was
just
possible.
get in the zone, or, you know, what's it called? The
Tunnel vision.
tunnel vision. And we talked, the whole last podcast is about how messed up things were right now. It's easy to get into the mindset that they're always messed up.
Mhm.
But, I mean, you can be in the eye of a hurricane, but if I'm with my family, you know, we got some food to eat, like,
Well,
I'll
we're
be
gonna die
happy.
together. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. No, you're right. You're right. You gotta focus on things that are inside of your control. It's all about balance and stuff. It's just so like, it's so easy to get twisted up so quickly. It's
Yeah.
so tough to be like, and you can't work out every day though. Well,
Right.
I
And
don't know
some
personally.
people,
I can't
No.
work out
some
every day.
people
I
don't
can't.
like to work out, so there has to be other things you can do.
Yeah, it's hobbies. That's
Right.
saying it. If video games, finding the right thing to help you de-stress,
Yes.
like just kind of finding
Seriously
something.
considering buying an
And
Xbox,
TV
but I think I will never talk to
Right.
a woman again. There's gonna be serious.
Having
I
TV
already don't
shows
talk
you
to
like
him.
to
It's gonna
watch
go down.
Yeah.
is great, but just mindlessly watching TV is not relaxing because you're actually not decompressing in that moment. So you gotta find something else.
Reading is great. It's something to occupy your mind. That's why I think I prefer the medium of books over TV and movies because it occupies your brain more.
Right.
And you get some more details and stuff like that. And so just finding something outside of work. If your whole life is work, I mean, that's just... it's certain situations, yeah, that makes sense. But at some point, you have to be a person too, not just some cog
Really?
in a wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, the
starting to
idea-
work.
Yeah.
I'm just,
add up all the hours you'll work in your life just to provide the bare minimum, food, shelter, all that. It's crazy. This isn't.
well, I'm not giving all my hours of my day to just
Right.
provide for food,
That's
shelter.
not how it has to be.
Yeah.
No, I'm putting all my hours because I'm building a friggin' empire,
Exactly.
hopefully.
Yeah, but it's also like you've worked so hard. I think some people have a hard time just like holding on to it and stockpiling. And that you work hard sometimes, maybe as long as it fits in budget constraints, you're not splurging on something ridiculous. Hey, go get yourself something. Treat yourself a little bit, even if it's like a nice meal. You've eaten healthy. You're on your diet all week. You know what? Let's go get something a little different. Let's just switch it up, because if you just stick to the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Tell me that all the time.
Yeah.
No.
So I did reward myself once. I remember. Back to your question.
Yeah.
It was in the really stressful period,
Yeah.
and where I would not take days off
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
And I'm salaried, so I don't. There isn't like days off to get. But I would never take time off. I'd work on the weekends. But I saw Russell Brand was playing up in Lake Tahoe, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drive up there, and I'm gonna watch the show, and that'll be my stress relief.
There you go.
But what I did is I slept in my car because I couldn't afford the hotel, and then I drove back in the morning and went back to work.
You made some concessions, but you still got away.
But
from
I
all
did
of
it, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you just gotta keep it. It's weird. It's like, the other part of it is like, right, hitting your goals and staying on the gas, and it's like, because you are comfortable, but you're not where you want to be at the end, and I struggle with it a lot, and I just don't know how to do it, because you gotta celebrate the little stuff. You don't want to get burned out, right?
Yep.
You don't want to be the person that gave you the trauma, right? You don't,
Right.
you can't do that to your kids, you can't do that to yourself, and so you know that you have to do it differently. But also, that was successful. That did work, right? That did put me in college, like for me,
Yeah.
right? I did do all these things, right? I had a great childhood, all these stuff, but it's also like, he wasn't too happy, Pops, right? He's not too happy. Now he's very good, all this stuff, but it's like, I don't want to do it that way.
Yep.
And so how am I going to do it differently? And I just don't know, and it's like, I don't know. I'm dabbling in some different things. I'm going to church a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
Trying new things too, I think, is something that people don't do. Is a fear of trying new things, be it fear of not being accepted, the fear of not being good at it, which, spoiler, most people aren't great at things right away.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to take the leap sometimes to do that. And like that, the little fear of trying something new can make you, if you're scared of trying something new and you try it, you're probably not going to be thinking about work at the time. Right?
Exactly.
And also just kind of understanding, you're like, all right, things are tough, but look how far you've come. Kind of just taking a moment to look back and say, man, well, when I first started, I didn't think I'd even get it to here. So
I would never have thought I was going to be the
I
31
knew I was
agent
gonna-
in Southern California, baby. You got to look, and you got to just be like, I hit my numbers this week. I did it. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not great. We're not where we need to be by the end of June, but we did what we had to do to be on pace to hit what we need to be in
it's
June.
not June yet.
Well,
So-
It's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
June, but
it will be soon, but-
if I could be at June numbers right now,
Yeah.
that'd be so nice.
It's the same as someone who's unhealthy, who's decided they're going to the gym, and they've consistently been doing it for a month. Like they don't look how they want to look. They're not as healthy as they want to be, but they should feel proud that they're doing it. They're making progress. But so many people just look at themselves like, I'm not where I want to be, and so I feel bad.
Yeah.
But if you're getting there, like there were times in my career where for the next 6 months, my bank account's going to go down a bit because I had to move and the rent's higher. But I know if I keep working hard, my average increase in income will get me there. And I have enough money in the bank to cover, what we're going to do for the next 6 months. So what do I do?
Still happen
Be
10
happy
years in?
anyway.
I still haven't have to deal with that 10 years in, dude. I just wanted the
No,
bank
no,
account to
this
eventually
was-
hit a spot where
No,
it's-
I'm not talking
Okay,
about now.
okay.
Just to be
Thank
clear,
God.
not now.
Thank
Back in
God.
the day.
Thank God.
No, you deal with that
Uh,
for maybe 5 years.
Okay, cool. 2 more years. We're almost there.
Yes,
That's
you'll be good.
so annoying, dude. I'm like, yes, goal. Damn it! What is happening for the next couple months? And then the market crashes, and then it's like, this is so fun.
Well, now more people.
Then I'm
answer the
balding.
phone.
I'm
Yeah,
balding
it's
at 25 years old, and this is not cool anymore. stressed
Well, blame
out.
that on your grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh, both of them. Both of them. I'm so screwed. I'm on the mock still. I won't lie to you guys.
Dude,
I'm on the Rogaines.
Go to Turkey. They do that even here
Oh,
now
I
too.
know. Yeah, no. I'm thinking about having Nick do it. I don't know. It's gonna be one of the. It's gonna be a Patreon episode. You guys can check it out.
There we go.
Nick Quinlan doing a hair transplant.
So I think we got just a few minutes to get into the last question, which was, okay, we did all that, stress relief. Now we're doing well. How do we keep that going without resting on our laurels?
Yeah, and even if you're not like doing well, like you're on your way to being well, how do you keep up the pace? Like I get there and I'm like, hang out, and then it's the bank account starts to go down again, and I'm like, no, and I have to turn up the jets again, and it's like then the cold calls start again. It's all this stuff, and it's like, oh, to just stay on the jets is so annoying, and it really hit me this year too with like Christmas and stuff. I took like a month off at the end of the year because like I got to my year-end numbers, and I was like,
It's so hard for me to go back to work after that.
yeah, yeah. No, whole beginning of the year. Then I went to Cozumel, and then I went to Panama, and it's like I was gone for like 2 weeks at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, well, if you're burning up all the gas too quick, just maybe tone it back a little bit, be on pace, but you're not going to be getting there early. But if you're on pace, you're not getting burnt out. Or maybe that's how you like to work. You work hard, you get ahead quick, and then you say, man, I did a good job. Let me take a week to go enjoy life.
Are you saying work hard, play hard?
Yes, I am. That's it. It's like sometimes
Sorry,
stepping
bro.
away, you've worked hard, and you're like, hey, man, I can take a Thursday and a Friday off, make it a 4-day weekend,
Yeah.
go out and do something.
Yeah, does it have to be miserable to be
Right.
successful?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money.
No, does
To
it?
be happy.
I'm asking you, Ian,
What?
do I have to be miserable to be successful?
No.
Like, are you sure?
Not at all, no.
I've only seen miserable people be successful. Like
That's
it's like,
because miserable people are more likely to be successful. Guess what they're not doing? Spending time with their families, doing their hobbies. That's why they're miserable.
but that's why they're successful.
because
Like,
they
it's
have
also,
more
it's this
time to
trade-off
work.
that I might be okay with. That's
Yes,
what I might
if
be.
you work more, you'll be more successful. But at the end of the day, you have to like the person you are,
Mm-hmm.
and that you
Yeah.
gotta add that in.
Well, I think there's the bias too, where you hear more from the people that are unhappy, but the people that aren't happy aren't going to be screaming or aren't always yelling it in your face.
Right.
But the people that are unhappy will let you know. It's like all those
I'm
things.
miserable and I'm working hard. That's
Well,
all
it's
you
like-
hear from
yeah.
It's like the
successful
surveys.
people.
You see a lot of the 1-star reviews and the 5-star reviews, but 3s and 4s in the middle, you're happy.
There's
So
no
you
reason
don't
to even
feel
post
the-
on Yelp. Yeah.
And I
Exactly.
don't care enough to do that.
Yeah.
Or if someone's happy, they're not going to sit around at the office and be complaining. They're going to go home to their family. They're going to go home to what they're looking forward to.
Yep.
True.
But I do have a strategy for this. So we can maybe end with that. You set your goal, and the first trap is to not set it so high that you'll never achieve it, but not so low that you achieve it way too early.
So set attainable goals.
It's got to be like you got to feel like it's just out of reach,
Mhm.
but realistically it is within reach.
Gotcha.
And then you set the activity. This is where you build a business plan. Like, I need to get this many clients. Here's the activity I need to do. I need to call this many people.
to
I
book
need to
this
go
many
to these
meetings,
networking
yeah.
meetings. Right, so you have the activity. And then here's what happens. Let's say my first quarter has been twice as successful as I thought it would be. But you know what the activity is. Now pretend the goal doesn't exist. There is no goal, it's just the activity. Do the activity. I said I had to make this many
But I
calls
hit
today.
it, man. I hit my goal.
What goal? There is no goal. You have the
I
activity.
wrote it down. I
No.
wrote it down. It's
Don't look at
awesome.
the
I
goal.
hit it. I've never hit it before,
If you
Ian.
just do the
I'm
activity,
so excited, Ian.
you get to the end of the year and you're at like 150% of your goal. You're like, whoa, that was awesome.
Wow, I'm lame and I didn't put a high enough goal. Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
No, then you
you're
change
right.
the goal next year
Yeah.
and do it again.
God, but I can't do that. That's an alien thought process to me. But that's so cool. I wish I could do that. I guess that's the goal, right? It's just to be like, forget about the goal once you've hit it and to focus on.
Well, in
Just
my
activity, I
scenario,
got you
you end up crushing the goal because you keep working.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
The risk is you meet your goal and they're like, well, guess I get to relax for a couple weeks.
Yeah, my goal is always like a couple thousand over what the number is, right? To be
Yeah.
like cushion, reversal, whatever happens, like I'm gonna be fine.
Right. And it's different for everybody. I like having a goal that I don't reach. I don't like reaching goals. I don't like when games are over. I don't like when books are over. So I don't like reaching the goal because then it's over. I
You said
always
earlier you
said
like
it.
some stuff that you're good at. What are some stuff that you're good at that you go and do? Stuff that you knock it out of the park.
Oh, I can out hike anybody. I have not
He
met.
did say that off the
He did
camera
say
very
that, yeah.
aggressively. He was.
You
No,
challenged
that's-
him.
Well, I didn't mean to. I
Yeah.
feel like I was pretty good at hiking, but not anymore.
I have never met a single person that can out hike me.
Some trail runner, if they see this, is just like, oh, I'm so
Challenge us on April 5th. Come out.
The Young Professionals
Ian will be
Challenge.
there.
Beat Ian in a hike as we all talk to him and you run.
Yeah, I have $100 on Ian for anybody that wants some action.
One of my friends was telling our group of friends, like, yeah, I went hiking with this dude, and we get to the top, and we're just chatting and walking silently, and then he reaches the top, he turns on his music, I would walk 10,000 miles, and he just takes off down the hill. I'm like, bye, I guess. I can't even see him anymore.
You
That's
were a
fun.
buddy of yours. Your buddy said that about you?
Yeah, I just took off. Yeah,
Yeah.
running down is the best part.
Hurts
My
my
knees
knees too
can't
much.
do that anymore,
yeah.
dude. Hell no.
That's why you strength train.
Dude.
No, you
Oh no,
work out.
we're well past the strength
People
training.
think to get good at hiking, you hike. No, that's like saying to get good at running marathons, you run marathons. You don't do that. You run much shorter runs, and then you work out. You lift weights. You do squats so that you can hike faster.
Fair
But
enough.
if you just
When
try
I
to
was-
run
we were
down the
lifting,
hill.
That was when I was. Yeah. Me and my buddy, in that case, we'd hike from Aliso Viejo to Laguna Beach,
Mm.
like every weekend. And we'd just we'd eat Taco Bell and then pass out on the beach for a couple hours, and my
Yeah.
mom would come pick us up. So
Pleasures of being a
time.
kid.
It was so great, but we would just be able to go gruff up this mountain. It's like
Yeah.
what in the world? But yeah, it was lifting. But then it was running down the mountain on the backside, and it's just I'm on concrete, just
Yeah.
my knees are just shattered, dude.
So if you need a self-confidence boost, bring someone who's not as good at the thing that you like doing with you.
Yeah.
I feel really not good doing that.
Well done, Danny.
Good job. And with that,
See
we're
that?
gonna
Oh,
end
that
it.
Danny's made the save. We're ending the podcast.
Catch you next month, kiddos. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Bye.